Hey, what's going on guys? H John here. Today we're going to be going over the This Week at Bungie for December 3rd, 2020. But before we jump into things, I ask that if you end up liking my content and you want to keep up to date on all Destiny 2 news, information, leaks, tutorials, and discussions, that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, let's jump into it. This week at Bungie, we prepare for next gen. It's been a while since we last spoke. I mean, it hasn't been too long. We took a quick week off for the holiday, but we're back to the grind. There's a bit to catch up on. Since the last Twab, new exotics have been discovered throughout Europa. Bungie has found new memories, the Deepstone Crypt has been infiltrated, and a dinosaur was sent into space. And if you're confused about that last bit there, it is a reference to the streamer T-Rex, to his day one experience of him freaking out about going into space on the Deepstone Crypt raid. But anyways, moving on, quite a few of you have been asking about raid statistics, as a reference to the little glad drama here that happened last week. Anyways, DMG here goes on to show off some exclusive Bungie stats about the day 1 and week 1 raid. And as you can see through the day 1 stats here, in terms of unique raid activity clears, there was only 4 brand new people for Last Wish, and for Garden there was 551, and then for Deepstone Crypt there was 29,000. I'm not going to go into this drama at all. I'll just say I don't agree with Glad at all, and this is mainly because there was a lot of things that allowed you to prep faster and better. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say for now, because I'm not going to delve deep into this drama. I already went into it on my Twitter, and I feel like it's not really worthy of video. But yeah, moving on, they state here at the end that one little final fun fact is that over 979,000 Guardians unlocked the Lament since the quest went live, which that's a lot of people. Anyways, let's talk about the Lightkeepers charity event that Bungie is doing right now. Currently, at the making of this video, Bungie has raised over $600,000, which is about a quarter of the way to their final goal of 2 million. And because they've raised so far over 600,000, they've actually reached 2 goals right now, which is to show off the Dawning 2020 Titan Universal Ornament concept art, as well as the Dawning 2020 Warlock Universal Ornament concept art, which both should have flashed on screen, and I have to say I'm really liking the look of this year's Dawning ornaments. Now, it's also important to note that at 750k we'll be able to see the 2020 Dawning Hunter ornaments, and at 1 million, we'll be able to view the Dawning 2020 Legendary Reward, which we kinda already know what it is thanks to Gensor on Twitter. If you wanna see what it is, it was in my last news update video, and it's basically a fusion rifle that's basically a Air Intel clone, but if you wanna see more of it, it was in my previous video, so I'll have that linked in the description down below. And then every $100,000 after 1 million will be a guest lore reading, so if you wanna see certain people read out some lore, keep an eye out on those streams. And as a quick reminder, a $25 donation will get you the 2019 Mist Blossoms emblem and the Gilded Shell exotic ghost. And then a $50 donation will get you the previously listed items as well as the brand new Lightkeepers emblem. And then finally at $100 you will be able to get the 3 previous items as well as a chance to win an item from the Bungie prize pool. And again, if you want to acquire these items, you'll have to donate the listed amount of money in order to acquire them. Anyways, moving on, we have the return of Iron Banner. Now, during the first Iron Banner of Beyond Light, we'll be seeing the return of 2 weapons from actually the year 1 of Destiny 2, and that is the 150 Guiding Sight Scout Rifle, as well as the 120 Steady Hand Cannon. And if you guys are not aware or have not looked at them in the database on light.gg, these will be coming with a new slew of perks and combinations for these archetypes of weapons. And with this being a 120 hand cannon and a 150 scout rifle, they're definitely meta at the moment, as well as they have some pretty competitive perks. Currently at the moment, I'm unsure if I'll do a dedicated video towards these 2 weapons, but I will say, but if you want to see if I will potentially make a video on this, I'd just say keep an eye out on my Twitter, which will be linked in the description down below. I'll probably say something when I get my hands on them. Oh, and for those wondering what the armor set will be, it will be the Iron Will armor set from Season 8. Even though the armor is not probably the best looking or even new, it can roll with high stats because Iron Banner is technically an end-game activity, so I would still try to get some good rolls from that. But yeah, with that being said, Iron Banner begins on 9 AM Pacific on December 8th, and it will run till 9 AM on December 15th, which is next Tuesday. Anyways, moving on, we have a brand new patch that's coming out next Tuesday, December 8th, and this will be a title update, and meaning it will have some patch notes with it. So with that being said, let's go over the patch note preview. First up is the next gen upgrade. I'll just have a picture on screen and you can pause and see all the benefits you'll get with the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 consoles. But yeah, for you console players out there on next gen, those frame rates and field of view sliders and faster load times are definitely going to be a game changer. Next up in the patch notes, it's regarding the return of the Prophecy Dungeon. They note that the Prophecy Dungeon will return to Destiny 2 on December 8th, 2020. This is an endgame activity, free to all players. Powerful rewards may be earned from each checkpoint once per week. Players may complete the dungeon once per week to obtain a pinnacle-powered reward, and previously featured weapon and armor rewards are available once more. Next up, Destiny Companion App Bounties. Beginning next week, players may acquire bounties from Destiny 2 vendors using the Destiny Companion App. Bounties may only be acquired when the player are offline, in orbit, or in the tower. This will be introduced through a Companion App update, which is planned for December 8th, 2020, and you need to stay tuned on Bungie Health for more on this Companion App update. And this is amazing for anyone like me who hates going back to the tower to grab a bunch of bounties. I do hope this means that third-party apps like Destiny Item Manager can get access to this too, because I'm not really a fan of the official Destiny app, but still, nonetheless, this is good. Next up is some resolved issues with New Light. They fixed an issue with the New Light subclass quest where Ikora's waypoint was suppressed. They fixed an issue where veteran players with two characters of the same class were blocked from acquiring their subclasses. They fixed an issue where a step on the New Light pursuit was not granting experience. And they fixed an issue where players who skipped the shotgun chest in the first mission did not receive special ammo when the shotgun was granted. Unfortunately, it seems they have not fixed the issue where if you reset your Valor rank during the Crucible New Light quest, it actually soft locks that quest and you cannot progress it. And so I really hope they fix that in the future because I'd like to get rid of that Crucible quest. But anyways, moving on, in the Monuments to Lost Lights, they fixed an issue where the waypoint on the exotic archive vendor continues to flash for players who own all exotics. Yeah, that was pretty annoying. Good thing they fixed that. Then in the collections, the badges and armor and collections correctly select player's class. They fixed an issue where the UI would forget which page the player was on after previewing an item in collections. That was pretty annoying. Good thing they fixed that. And they also fixed a bug where some new armor mods had incorrect sources listed in collections. Then moving on to the Crucible, they updated the mercy roll for control and clash to prevent it from triggering too early in the match. I'll admit that was kind of annoying. Then they fixed a issue where the survivor medal could be awarded to players who were defeated during the round. And then they also fixed an issue where the untouchable medal could not be earned. And then finally, some issues with Beyond Light exotics. The Icefall Mantle exotic, they fixed a bug where the Icefall Mantle's description did not mention the slow field it generates when activated. And then with the Mask of Bacchus, they improved the readability of the visual effects when another player wearing the Mask of Bacchus shifts directly towards you. They also updated the description string for Mask of Bacchus perks to correctly describe its damage bonus, which applies to combatants and affects all arc weapon damage and all damage against slowed or encased enemies. Additionally, they fixed an issue where this damage bonus was applying to players who are slowed or encased in Crucible and Gambit. And finally, with the Necrotic Grips, they fixed an issue where being killed by the effects of Necrotic Grip would show as being killed by the Architects. And they do note that this isn't the full list as it is a preview, and it will be available on December 8th. Then next up, we got some reports from the player support team. And the first thing here is just a timeline of the maintenance that's going to happen on December 8th. In terms of patch sizes, they're going to be the following. For Xbox Series X and S, the patch size will be 70 gigabytes. The PlayStation 5 patch download size will be 67 gigabytes. And then the Xbox One will be 2 gigabytes. The PlayStation 4 will be 2 gigabytes. And the PC Steam size will be 1.5 2.5 gigabytes. Don't freak out about the next gen console patch sizes. The reason why they're so big, obviously, is because they're getting the brand new, shaders and textures and everything, and so because of that, it ends up being a much larger download size. Next up, we got some upcoming resolved issues that are expected to be resolved with the next update, that being update 3.0.1, and they are the following: the lift tubes in the Warden of Nothing strike fully drain the super energy. The wanted Fanatic Triumph is not being awarded after defeating the Fanatic in Forsaken campaign. The hitless Triumph is not being awarded after defeating all the Barons in the Forsaken campaign. The holograms from looped emotes such as the Luxurious Toast and the Feline Fancy emotes disappear and leave players in a static position after the first loop ends. And the Adored Sniper cannot be reacquired from the collections. And lastly here, we have an ungodly long list of known issues. I'm just gonna briefly put it on screen. If you like to see the full thing, the Twab will be linked in the description down below as always. But yeah, it's pretty long, I'm not gonna read it. And lastly, we have the movies and the artists of the week. If you like to see those, like I just said, the Twab will be linked in the description down below. And with that being said, before we close out our video here, at the end here, DMG goes on to note that next week will be the final Twab of the year, and with it being a couple days before the Dawning launches, obviously there will probably be a preview of what's all to come in the Dawning, so keep an eye out for that next week. In terms of what I'll do in the absence of the Twabs, well, I'm unsure at the moment, but I'm pretty sure I'll come up with something. Anyways, this was Ace Trainer John, and I'll see ya in the next one. Peace.